I've just picked up engine number 6 since there's engine number 5. Had 3 cracked ring lands, so it's just easier just buying another engine. They're fairly cheap, so thought I'd do a quick walk around, a bit more in depth of the setup. Since it's out of the car, might make it a bit easier. So the BMW M5 V10 throttle body, so it's just one bank of cylinders. I had to bring them closer together, so each one is a lot closer in. All I had to do was modify the rack underneath, so I just had to re-drill these holes. You can kind of see there's a standard hole on the rack, another one. I had to slot the end on there. It's hardened stainless. It's like ridiculously hard, this stuff. Throttle linkage, it's just a simple Heim joint, just simple linkage. I've got lots of different ones positions I can try, made all that myself. Found out that this is actually the best position where it's at now. Still needs modified. I still would quite like to change it. Intake temp sensor, it's just a GM one, just off the shelf GM part. RX8 yellow injectors. It's the standard Volvo fuel rail that I just got -6 fittings welded on either end, and then I had to modify the bottom of it to make my own spacers for the throttle bodies. It's just a standard T5 manifold, so it's not an NA manifold, it's a T5 manifold, and then welded on a 15mm thick aluminium plate, and got it all machined out to accept the M5 throttle bodies in the correct spacing that I wanted. I'll see if I can get a better shot of it down there. I'll have to knock the light on for that. They're 90mm trumpets, so they're 90mm tall, 50mm diameter. The fuel rail has a standard Volvo fuel damper, which is quite interesting. Never really seen one of them before on any of my other cars. It's a Volvo 850 cover that I've just modified to make fit on these newer shape Volvo engines that are in. 5:1 manifold, it's made out of mild steel, 1.5-inch bore. All the runners are equal length. It's kind of my first ever attempt at building a manifold. Yeah, nice big collector. Volvo 850 lightened flywheel, so the flywheel's, I think it's close to 5 kilograms lighter than the standard Volvo flywheel. I'll show you the gearbox inside. So it's a Volvo V70 bell housing that then welded a 6mm alley plate to, and then welded to that is a BMW E46 320D gearbox, so it's a 6-speed. The gearbox code is GS637DZ. The reason I picked this gearbox was because of the really cheap, and they're quite strong, even though it's like the little brother gearbox to the 53 DZ. I think if I had to do this all over again, I'd probably pick a slightly weaker gearbox and have better ratios, because the ratios aren't the best, and with it being like a diesel gearbox, first gear is just unusable. So when the car was turbo, I did have paddle clutch for it. So it's just a 5-paddle clutch. It was great on the turbo car when it was turbo. It never slipped, anything like that. Volvo 850R pressure plate, so the springs on the side are a bit thicker, so it kind of holds a bit more pressure. Applies a bit more pressure to the disc stopper from slipping. But this is kind of, it's all a bit overkill now since the car's naturally aspirated. Yeah, tubular subframe. It's crappy engineering. They're based in the UK. They make subframes for MX-5s. Air ride, which I know some folk hate, but car drives really nice. If I have an air ride and go over speed bumps, I can make my car go really low. It handles well for air ride. Aye.